Right now on CBS4 This Morning, an update on how well Aurora is making progress on police and fire reforms in the years after Elijah McClain's death.
Charges against a group of teenagers and adults for a violent carjacking in Cherry Creek, and in a rare move, prosecutors charged 2 with violations against our Organized Crime Act.
And after a cool stretch over the past few days, we're tracking a warm-up just in time for that holiday weekend.
From Colorado's News Channel, this is CBS4 This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, February 17th. I'm Michelle Griego.
I'm Dominic Garcia. Appreciate you waking up with us. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get to First Alert meteorologist Ashton Alteri in the Weather Center. How's it looking for the weekend?
You know, for most of this holiday weekend, most of Colorado is going to enjoy pretty pleasant weather for this time of year. In the mountains, we will start to get some snow again starting Sunday. It'll snow in the mountains for President's Day on Monday as well. And, of course, President's Day weekend, one of the busiest ski weekends at many of our ski areas in the state. We're going to start getting some fresh snow again for days 2 and 3 of the long weekend. Meanwhile, the next 5 days here in Metro Denver, today through Tuesday, will be warmer. We'll be in the 50s most days. That snow comes back to the mountains on Sunday, and then we will eventually get some snow in Metro Denver next week, and we'll talk more about that. We're also going to get a lot of cold again. In fact, it could get even colder next week than we got this week. For today, though, enjoy the warmer weather. It's cold this morning, but later today we'll reach into the lower to even middle 50s, above normal by about 5-10 degrees, and we'll have plenty of sunshine to go around. All right, it's time to check the drive this morning. Michelle on traffic duty. How's it looking?
Well, it's not looking too bad, so hopefully a Friday light situation for the rest of the morning. Taking a look from our Mile High camera right now, traffic moving along very nicely around the stadium curve. It's 6:01 though, and we usually see some slowing, but right now it's looking good in both directions. Taking a look at your wide metro map right now, everything in the green. We want to keep it that way, all right, especially before the long holiday weekend. Taking a look at your drive times if you're coming into the metro area from the north. Everything in the green, including 270. Right now, the average speed eastbound is 60 miles per hour, a 6-minute drive from I-25 to I-70. And I-70 is looking pretty good, too. If you're coming in from the east, average speed there, 65 miles per hour. Well, new this morning, a new report is detailing on how the Aurora police and fire departments are keeping up with promises to improve following the death of Elijah McClain. And our Jasmine Arenas is in Aurora. And Jasmine, it appears overall the city is falling behind.
Good morning, Michelle. The Independent Monitor's progress report shared concerns about missed deadlines, and it also reviewed the Aurora Police Department's use of force by its officers. Now, Chief Acevedo said he's committed to the consent decree since it provides a great opportunity for it to become a model for the nation to follow. Chief Acevedo also mentioned a new body-worn camera policy that has been approved, and it will require officers to activate their cameras when they're responding to a call instead of doing it while on scene. He believes this will give the community an insight into the officer's process when responding to a call. And coming up at 6:30, we'll hear more on what influenced his decision. In Aurora, Jasmine Arenas covering Colorado First.
Jasmine, thank you. An update now to a story we've been following closely. 6 people, including 2 juveniles, have been arrested and charged following a brutal armed carjacking in the Cherry Creek area.
2 of them are charged under Colorado's Organized Crime Act. The mother and daughter involved in that case say the young men who carjacked them seemed to know what they were doing. From tracking them to surrounding inside the Clayton Lane parking garage and hitting each of them on the heads with guns.
They were all shouting at each other, telling each other what to do.
Hit Allie in the face. Well, they had a gun to her head right here, and then threw me on the ground and robbed me of all of my things.
Police told the victims they believe it was gang-related. Career prosecutors tell us the charges of violating Colorado's Organized Crime Control Act against 2 of the suspects is not common. Cherry Creek area seen a spike in crime. Police say that neighborhood already had 16 car thefts this year, same number they had all of last year. There were 6 violent crimes reported in Cherry Creek last year.
Happening today, a man accused of killing a 13-year-old boy during a road rage shooting will appear in court for a status hearing ahead of his second trial. Police say in 2018, Jeremy Webster shot 3 members of the Bigelow family outside Westminster a Westminster dentist office after a traffic incident. Police believe it was prompted by road rage. Vaughn Bigelow died. His mom and younger brother were hurt. A mistrial was declared in 2021.
We have an update on the deadly shooting of a 12-year-old boy in Denver's Sun Valley neighborhood. The man police say shot and killed the boy at the wheel of his stolen car not going to face any charges. Police say earlier this month the man used an app to track the vehicle, and when he found it, he got into a shootout with the people inside. The 12-year-old driver was killed. The other people in the car ran off. The district attorney said prosecutors felt they could not prove to a jury the man had done anything illegal. New resource in Denver aimed at tackling both public safety and public health is now open. The Aid Center near 14th and Aladdy downtown is designed to be a connection point for people needing help, whether that be mental health or substance abuse support, hygiene and food, and even employment prep classes. The city says it's an alternative to jail. A group of Colorado lawmakers in Congress is criticizing the decision by the only hospital in Durango to limit permanent birth control procedures.
Mercy Hospital says it will no longer allow women to get their tubes tied starting April 15th. The group, all Democrats and all serving on the Congressional Pro-Choice Caucus, issued a statement, and it says in part, every Coloradan, regardless of their zip code, has the right to bodily autonomy and deserves access to the full spectrum of reproductive health care, including permanent birth control measures. The hospital's website does include information about its religious foundation, saying, quote, Mercy is responsible for conducting itself in a manner consistent with the ethical principles of the Catholic Church ministry. When we don't offer a desired service, our providers work with patients to connect them with another provider.
All right, let's get back over to meteorologist Ashton Alteri, kind of already close to yesterday's high.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, for sure. Temperatures are going to be much warmer later today compared to where we've been the last couple of days. Back on Monday, we hit 55 degrees in Denver. We should come close to that again today. So we're bookending the week with warmer weather after all that cold weather we had during the middle of the week. Sun will be up this morning in about 45 minutes from now. It's currently 26 degrees in Denver. That's warmer than many of us were all day back on Wednesday. Later today, we'll reach about 53 under mostly sunny skies. And then for the weekend, high clouds around tomorrow, but still relatively mild, high 52. We'll cool off just slightly on Sunday. 49. There's a trough of low pressure, a little swing through on Sunday. That'll create a few extra clouds statewide. And in the mountains, we're going to get some snow again starting on Sunday. It's a 3-day weekend for a lot of folks, and day 2 will include some snow in the mountains, but we're not going to get any snow down here again until the middle of next week. The timing is very similar to what we just experienced this week, but it could be even colder with this next storm. We're going to talk more about that coming up here in your First Alert Super 7-day forecast in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Ashton, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. The Denver Nuggets enter the All-Star break riding high after winning their 41st game of the season. And as usual, Nikola Jokic was a major factor as he continues to play just at a ridiculous level, right? Jokic could be on his way to his 3rd straight MVP award.
That put him in an elite club. Only 3 players have won 3 straight league MVPs in league history: Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. So some amazing company there. Latest straw poll results have Jokic winning in a landslide, collecting 77 out of 100 first-place votes. His new teammate Reggie Jackson couldn't say enough about him.
He just plays basketball, and he allows the game to dictate how you're going to play that night. So that's something, being a competitor against him. I've been very appreciative of watching him.
Well, no surprise, Jokic is the frontrunner in the betting world to win the MVP. He is the only player at BetMGM with minus odds. Nuggets currently have the 2nd best odds to win the West, and Michael Malone has 3rd best odds to win Coach of the Year.
I know what bets to place now, man, geez.
Right there.
One emerging podcast is shining light on the issues and contributions of the Black and brown community here in Denver.
President Biden speaks about the 3 flying objects shot down over North America, what he's urging his administration to do now about unidentified objects floating above the U.S.
And let's take you outside right now. Here's a beautiful shot of the Capitol from our library cam. Nice way to start the day. 6:08, 26 degrees outside. We'll have much more when we come back.
First Alert weather never stops. Get it anytime on CBS News Colorado, the leading 24-hour information source. Always be ready. That's why we First Alert.
Tonight's lineup on CBS4 is sponsored by Furniture Row. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. Furniture Row.
An update now to a disturbing story we reported earlier this week. University of Denver police now say 3 anti-Semitic incidents on campus are hate crimes. Pork, which is against Jewish kosher dietary laws, was left at a student's door in one residence hall, and in another dorm, religious items called mezuzahs were removed from Jewish students' doors. At least one was defaced. The school says its Office of Equal Opportunity is investigating along with the police investigation.
We're covering the nation for you this morning, and President Biden is directing his team to develop sharper rules about when to shoot down unidentified objects flying over the country. President said the 3 objects shot down earlier this month were not related to China's surveillance program. They were likely private companies or research institutions. 5 former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyree Nichols going to be arraigned today. Nichols died 3 days after he was pulled over and officers brutally beat him. The officers were fired. They are now facing charges that include second-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping. And the head of the EPA is asking people in Northeast Ohio to trust the government as it tries to deal with a train derailment and subsequent chemical burn. He vowed to hold the rail operator accountable. Neighbors have lingering health concerns even after officials said testing shows water and air are safe.
All right, 6:13. Let's get another check on our weather. I can't wait for warmer weather, Ashton.
It's coming, I promise. Temperatures are going to warm into the 50s for today, and we're going to stay in the 50s for the most part for the next 5 days in Metro Denver. Live look in Summit County, Lakeside Village there at Keystone. It's cold, -13 where this camera is located. But it sure is pretty as we're starting to see the first light of day now coming over the ridgeline of the mountains. The Keystone area, of course, under or is it within the upper Colorado River Basin. We have 8 basins in Colorado, and 7 of them have above normal snowpack, including the South Platte Basin, which we're a part of here in the metro area. Down south, it's the Arkansas Basin that's still not doing as great as the others, but we did see quite a bit of snow this week in the Sangre de Cristos and the wet, so that's improving the Arkansas number. Remember, we like these snowpack numbers to be healthy. The better they are now, the less likely we'll have widespread drought and high fire danger and water restrictions later this year. 24 degrees right now at the airport, 26 downtown. We do have a light southwesterly breeze that is making it feel just a little bit cooler. It is in the single digits in Weld County this morning, 2 degrees in Greeley. That's a little bit colder than we were there yesterday. But most areas are 10, 15, even 20 degrees above where we were yesterday at this time. So make no mistake, it's still cold this morning, but you'll notice it's not quite as bad as it's been. The exception is our mountain valleys. Gunnison's down to -21 for an air temperature this morning. Craig, -12 in the northwest corner. Temperatures later today reaching to the lower 50s here in Metro Denver. We're going to have this downsloping effect that's going to warm things up. If you've lived here for a while, you know whenever we talk about downslope, we're talking about warmer weather, regardless of what time of year it is. On the eastern plains, farther away from the mountains, you're going to stay cooler, 30s. And speaking of cooler, out west, we're going to be stuck in the 20s in the Grand Valley today. Start warming up over there coming up tomorrow. Metro Denver, once again, in the lower 50s. The only difference is tomorrow the sky's going to look more white instead of blue. We'll have some high cloudiness around. We'll hang on to some clouds on Sunday as well. Clear skies all across the state of Colorado right now. The storm we had here earlier this week heading for the East Coast, where they'll have a wet day today. High pressure for us is going to keep us completely dry statewide through tomorrow. And then it's going to be day 2 of the 3-day weekend that we have this trough of low pressure coming on through. And this is going to bring snow back to our mountains on Sunday. So if you have some mountain plans, and a lot of folks do, President's Day weekend, one of the most popular ski weekends of the whole season, of course, we will get some fresh snow at our ski areas on Sunday and Monday as well. Down here, we keep it dry through at least Tuesday morning. Late Tuesday is when we could get snow back in the metro area, and this looks like a rather robust cold front coming in, so we're going to keep dropping temperatures for Wednesday. By Thursday morning of next week, we may be around 3 degrees.
Oh,
and again,
great.
it looks likely that we're going to have some snow there as well. Dom's like, I'll be in California by then. Whatever. You guys
be nice and warm, probably texting us
Send
like,
you guys
so.
some pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to miss it eventually.
You will. Yeah, I know you will miss it, and we're going to miss you. Of course, this is Dom's last day. Do you want to do traffic real quick?
Give it a shot.
Come on, we're looking at the tech camera right now.
Look at our tech cam. All right, traffic seems to be, well, I'll do it, you can see there's some cars on the road right now.
Great,
yeah.
Some are going north, some are going south.
Right. Wait, you can't do the.
All right, Michelle, you better take it over.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what
already.
button to press.
He's messed it up. Okay, the wide metro map.
Wide metro map looks great, but there is a crash on Alameda. I do know that.
You were paying attention. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So do you know what street this is? This is 6th Avenue. Yep.
Everything in the green.
Everything in the green, which is great. And if you're coming in from the north, look at that. Everything in the green. So that's nice. See? You're good.
night.
On your last day. All right, good vibrations fill the air at the studio recording this podcast. Three friends who grew up in Denver host the show focused on society and culture with amazing guests. This podcast highlights the beauty, contributions, and stories of Black and brown leaders in Denver, from politicians to DJs.
See the pod as a connector for Denver, and also to provide people with those platforms. There's a lot of folks here in this city, and in this state rather, that are doing a lot of dope things.
Along with shedding light on issues such as the displacement of Black and brown people, the hosts also discuss access to opportunity. In March, this podcast is celebrating its 2nd anniversary and is nearing its 100th episode. And we are bringing you a special collection of these stories. We hope you join us right here tonight at 6:30 as we are elevating Black voices. You can watch it on CBS Colorado and our streaming service.
Family of Bruce Willis shares an update on his health and his battle against a life-altering disease.
And imagine a search engine that isn't afraid to talk smack. The shocking report of technology insulting those who try to use it.
All right, let's go back outside right now. Beautiful shot from our mile-high cam of that sunrise.
Sunrays or later.
Sunrays. Beautiful way to start the weekend. 26 degrees outside. We'll be right back.
Colorado weather can change so fast. Shorts one day, shoveling the next. As soon as we see a change coming, we let you know so you can be ready. That's why we first alert.
The Dog Walk forecast is sponsored by Subaru. Love is what makes Subaru, Subaru.
United Airlines continuing to increase its Colorado footprint. On Thursday, the company unveiled its new state-of-the-art Boeing 787 simulator. It cost about $25 million. The airline will train pilots through its Denver Flight Training Center. United ordered 100 of these planes and plans to bring thousands of new jobs to our state.
United Airlines is the largest private employer in Denver with over 8,400 Denver-based employees, and we're only getting bigger. In 2022 alone, we've hired over 400 new employees that are based right here at the Denver Flight Training Center.
United has 1,800 jobs to fill by 2024.
While we may not hibernate, new research is backing up the idea that you need some extra shut-eye in the winter. Scientists studying sleep patterns in Berlin found striking changes as soon as the seasons change. Total sleep time was about an hour longer in the winter, but even more significant, REM sleep, which is important for learning and memory. Researchers found people had 30 minutes more REM sleep in the winter versus summer months. People who obviously don't work this shift.
Yeah, right, exactly, because we don't get a lot.
Yeah, scientists say they're close to a breakthrough on a new generation of light-activated cancer treatments. A study in the UK says the therapy works by embedding LED lights close to a tumor. Then it activates highly targeted drugs. Researchers say the treatment would avoid damaging healthy cells, possibly preventing side effects like hair loss and fatigue. All right, let's go to our top trending stories. We're getting an update on beloved actor Bruce Willis and his diagnosis.
I know, this is sad to hear about. His daughter, Rumor Willis, she posted on Instagram about her father's health, and she says her father's aphasia has progressed to a more specific diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia, or FTD. In a statement, the family says in part that Willis would want to respond by bringing global attention to those suffering from the disease. Well, Ryan Seacrest is moving on from daytime talk. On Thursday's Live with Kelly and Ryan, Seacrest said he'll leave the show in April after 6 years. He'll continue hosting American Idol, though, and Ripa's husband and occasional fill-in host Mark Consuelos will be her permanent co-host. They are a great duo together in life and on TV, so that'll be a fun show to watch. Well, don't mess with Microsoft's retooled Bing search engine. The artificially intelligent chatbot may insult you, or in some cases even worse. The Associated Press is reporting in one conversation it had with the news service, the AI threatened to expose a reporter for spreading alleged falsehoods. It then compared the reporter to dictators Hitler and Stalin. More and more trial users are reporting the chatbot's hostile low blows. So Microsoft, they quickly pushed out the technology to beat Google. It now promises to work on toning it down, like maybe just saying, why are you searching for that?
I like it a little edgy, though. That might actually make me use Bing. Who knows?
Really? You would like that.
It'd be kind of fun.
A little insulting. I can see you liking that, Dom.
Thank you. All right, 6:24 right now, 26 degrees outside, and a bill at the state capitol aimed at overtime rules is creating a heated debate how your employer could be fined for changing your schedule. And as the city sees a spike in crime, and despite more than 1,000 applications, Aurora PD really struggling to hire new cops, the rules that are getting in the way.
It's 6:25 right now. We're taking a look at your drive right now. If you're coming into the metro area from the north, speeds are still looking pretty good. A little bit of slowing on 25 southbound direction. 40 miles per hour is the average speed. It's a 14-minute drive from 120th to I-70. We'll have a closer look at your morning commute coming up.
And here at 625, we also want to check your first alert travel forecast. The storm system we had in Colorado earlier this week, back on Tuesday night and Wednesday, it has finally made its way to the East Coast, and that's where weather-related delays will be possible today. From Atlanta to Charlotte, up to D.C., Philadelphia, New York, and Boston, weather-related delays possible. A little bit of snow in Chicago today, and a little bit of rain up in Seattle. Meanwhile, nothing weather-related that'll slow you down traveling here in our state, but you can see red on the East Coast, D.C., delays greater than 45 minutes. And New York, I guess they had a power outage last night, so major delays going to and through there. We'll be right back.
Colorado weather can change so fast. As soon as we see change coming, we let you know. Get ready with me every day. That's why we first alert.
CBS4 Traffic is sponsored by Frank Azar and Associates. Hurt in a car crash? Call Frank Azar, the strong arm.
In less than 2 weeks, thousands of Colorado families will lose potentially hundreds of dollars towards feeding their families. How you can get help.
I'm Jasmine Arenas in Aurora with an update on the police department's efforts to make changes following Elijah McClain's death, why the Independent Monitor says they're missing the mark.
And good Friday morning from the Colorado Weather Center. First Alert Weather Center, you can see the sun already starting to glisten off the downtown buildings a little bit. It's going to be a nice Friday and overall a good holiday weekend for us. We'll check your forecast straight ahead.
And a new bill on Capitol Hill could impact when your boss posts your schedule and fine them if they change it last minute.
From Colorado's News Channel, this is CBS4 This Morning.
Morning, everyone. Happy Friday, February 17th. I'm Dominic Garcia.
And I'm Michelle Griego. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. Is it a happy Friday, Dom? It's your last
Friday.
Yes,
yeah.
It's a bittersweet one. It's his last day with us, Ashton. We're gonna miss him.
Yes, I know. Mix of emotions, right? I mean, we're happy it's Friday. We're a little depressed. Dom is leaving us, but it's I know for a good reason, and we're sorry to see you go, Dom. And of course, we wish you all the best. Sunny and warmer weather for today. That's our big weather story. Back on Monday, we were in the mid-50s. We should get back up there today. So a bookmark of warmer weather, bookends, I should say, this week with that warmer weather we had to start and to finish. Our first alert weather watcher, Richard Harvey in Denver's Lowry neighborhood, has 20. Nancy Rockwell out on the plains in Ray, she has 5 degrees above zero. Eric up in Steamboat Springs, he is 5 degrees below zero. So there's still plenty of very cold air to be found in Colorado. Most kids, of course, have today off, or a lot of them do, for a long President's Day weekend. Some kids are going to school. We'll give it a C at the bus stop this morning. We'll bring that grade up to an A. It's been a long time since we've graded our school day forecast with an A, but it's looking pretty good this afternoon. We're going to talk about your weekend and look ahead to next week coming up here in just a few minutes. Michelle?
All right, Ashton, thank you. And taking a look out at the roads right now, this is from our mousetrap cam at I-70 and Pecos. Traffic moving along nicely, and the roads are looking way better than they have the last couple of days. So the morning commute is moving along pretty well. The wide metro map is showing everything pretty much in the green. We're seeing a little bit of slowing up north on I-25 coming into the city, and also on 270. A closer look at your drive times if you are coming in from the north. That's slowing on 25. Average speed 33 miles per hour. On 270, it's looking like eastbound I-25 to I-70 is a 7-minute drive. New this morning, the Aurora Police and Fire Department's progress in meeting deadlines of reform is raising some concern about missed deadlines. The consent decree was approved in November of 2021 as an agreement between the city and state to improve practices following Elijah McClain's death. Jasmine Arenas is in Aurora. And Jasmine, the department's interim chief had a chance to address the concerns at a special meeting Thursday night.
Good morning, Michelle. Yes, it was approved in November of 2021. The department has gone through 3 police chiefs, and Interim Chief Art Acevedo says he's committed to following that consent decree. Now, the consent decree lays out dozens of reforms from hiring and training to diversity and improving the police's use of force policies. These changes are happening as crime rises in Aurora. Chief Acevedo says one of the changes they're making is to the body-worn cameras. They are now asking officers to turn on the cameras while responding to a call instead of doing it when arriving on scene. They believe this will give the community more of an insight into their thinking process while responding to the call. This, he said, this influenced his decision.
Oh my God, they're probably, conspiring to go violate somebody's rights or conspiring to kill that guy, when in fact what was happening was some really thoughtful, deliberative planning on how to achieve a lawful objective.
They also said every policy they change, they are going to put out right away into the community. They said they did have trouble juggling deadlines, and they will work to improve on that. In Aurora, Jasmine Arenas covering Colorado First.
Jasmine, thank you. And crime certainly a concern in Aurora as well. And citizens have been asking for more cops on the streets, but the hiring process hit a roadblock. CBS4 investigator Brian Moss found more than 1,000 people applied to be an Aurora police officer last year. But the city hired only 17 people, just 1.6% of those who applied. Other departments hired closer to 10%. Applicants were automatically rejected if they made clerical errors on their applications or if they admitted to using marijuana within 12 months of applying. Well, for more on what changes Aurora city leaders want to make to get more officers on the streets, you can watch that full story at CBSColorado.com.
A bill requiring certain companies to post work schedules 2 weeks in advance is causing debate at the state capitol. The Fair Work Week bill would impact more than 350,000 Coloradans. In addition to posting schedules early, workers would have to have at least 12 hours between shifts and get extra pay for a schedule change. Supporters say it would reduce turnover and increase productivity. The Colorado Restaurant Association says the bill would devastate an industry that is by nature unpredictable. Employers that don't abide by the provisions would face fines of up to $10,000.
End of February going to bring a lot of anxiety for many Colorado families already struggling to make ends meet. Federal food help known as SNAP benefits going to be reduced starting in March. Colorado been issuing emergency allotments to all SNAP households since the beginning of the pandemic. That'll end in March too. Most households will see cuts of $90 per person. So for a family of 4, that's $360 less a month. DHS does have a SNAP benefit support line. We have that information on our website, CBSColorado.com. And Americans are borrowing more money and defaulting on their debt.
A new Federal Reserve Bank of New York report says household debt hit $16.9 trillion last quarter. That is a $394 billion increase over the prior 3-month period. Credit card debt also increased by more than 6.5% to $986 billion. Economists worry about the rising delinquency rates while the labor market is strong.
All right, let's get over to meteorologist Ashton Alteri. How warm are we going to get today?
How about lower to middle 50s? A lot better than we've been the last couple of days. Remember on Wednesday, I'm sure I don't have to remind you, we were stuck in the teens all day. So a big warm up from where we were just a couple of days ago. In about 15 minutes from now, the sun will come up on the eastern horizon. You can see we have crystal clear skies this morning, so lots of sunshine on the way. It's 26 degrees right now downtown. Many areas are colder than that, but most of us are at least 10, 15 degrees above where we were yesterday morning, and that's going to be the trend throughout the day with a high of about 53 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. For the weekend, some high cloudiness will start to arrive tonight. Looks like it's going to stick around for tomorrow. So we'll have those high cirrus clouds above us. The sky will appear more white instead of blue on Saturday, 52. And then on Sunday, day 2 of what will be a 3-day weekend for a lot of folks, will cool down just a little bit. Partly cloudy skies, high temperature 49. On Sunday, we'll get snow in the mountains. And we'll probably have some snow in the high country for President's Day on Monday as well. But for down here in the metro area and across the eastern plains, our next chance for snow looks to wait until at least Tuesday night of next week. We'll talk more about that in your First Alert Super 7-Day forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Ashton, thank you. Water is being shut off at several Colorado elementary schools after a dangerous amount of lead was found in the water. The Aurora Public Library is trying to reach communities that can't reach them. The city is launching a new bookmobile this month.
First alert, our promise to you. As soon as we see a change coming in our weather, we'll let you know. Always know what to expect, so you're ready. That's why we First Alert.
Welcome back, everyone. 6:39 right now. Let's get over to meteorologist Ashton Alteri. Ooh, beautiful shot right here up in the mountains.
Yeah, we looked at this earlier, and I wanted to go back to it because it's just so incredible. On a clear morning like this up in Summit County, it's cold. Make no mistake about that. Lakeside Village at Keystone is where this camera's located. It's -14, but look at that sunrise. Right there on the ridgeline of the mountains in Summit County. We've been watching the snowpack numbers this week in the high country because, of course, we've had a lot more snow, especially down in the San Juans where they were measuring the snow in feet. And we're now up to 135% compared to normal down there in the San Juans. We have 8 river basins in Colorado. 7 of them are in really good shape. The one that's a little below normal still is the Arkansas. But, of course, this week we did get a lot of snow down in the Sangre de Cristo, certainly helping that situation. Sunrise looks pretty nice here along the Front Range as well, but just doesn't quite have that look like it does in the mountains. Temperatures in the 20s for most of us here this hour. It's 20 degrees in Aurora, 22 in Lakewood. It is colder in northern Colorado. In fact, Greeley's about 4 degrees colder than it was at this time yesterday. But most of us are 10 to 15, even 20 degrees above where we were at this time yesterday. And so this is the warming trend we've been talking about. I mean, it's still winter. It's still only going to reach in the lower 50s today, but it's going to feel a lot better than it has the last couple of days by this afternoon. That said, some of our mountain valleys are down into the teens and 20s below zero. It's -15 in Lake City. It's -11 up along Highway 13 in Meeker this morning. Temperatures later today top out in the lower 50s in Metro Denver. This is a downsloping wind that we'll have today that's going to allow us to warm up, but it's pretty limited to just the metro area. The rest of the state's going to stay on the cool side. Tomorrow, temperatures very similar. 50s here in town, 30s and 40s elsewhere for the most part. And then on Sunday, we'll cool down just a little bit. High temperatures in the 40s. Clear skies all across the state of Colorado this morning. High pressure that's over the Four Corners this morning is going to keep the entire state of Colorado dry through tomorrow. And then on Sunday, a big stretched out area of low pressure. We refer to these as troughs. They sort of work like cold fronts. It's going to swing through the area. And this is going to create some snow again in our mountains on Sunday. So snow for this very popular ski weekend for days 2 and 3. Sunday and Monday, we'll have snow in the mountains. Down here, we keep it dry in the metro area and across the eastern plains all the way through at least Tuesday afternoon. It's going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday that snow should redevelop. Still a lot of questions on how much snow we would get, but one thing is for certain, it's going to get a lot colder for the middle of next week. Only 30 for a high on Wednesday, down to just 3 degrees above zero Wednesday night. Michelle?
All right, Ashton. Well, we are tracking a crash on the highway that's causing major delays. This is in the southbound direction on I-25. You could see 2 lanes are closed right there. Copter 4 is overhead this crash. The tow truck is hopefully out there soon to clear up this crash. But again, 2 lanes blocked, so causing delays in that area. Taking a look at your wide metro map right now, all other areas are looking pretty good. We are starting to see some slowing on 270, which we normally see, but still not too bad. Closer look at your drive times right now. The average speed on 270 is 41 miles per hour, making for an 8-minute drive from I-25 to I-70. And if you're coming into the metro area from the east, I-225 southbound is seeing a crash there as well. The average speed right now is 23 miles per hour, an 8-minute drive from Parker Road to I-25. Covering Colorado first, high levels of lead have been found in the water fountains at multiple elementary schools in the Poudre School District. Those water fixtures are now shut off. At least 4 schools in the Poudre district have high levels. Mandated state testing is underway right now. That also found high levels in several schools across the state. And we have a link to all of those results on our website, cbscolorado.com. The city of Aurora wants to get more people reading, and this month it's launching a new bookmobile. The Aurora Public Library welcomed a 119 square feet mobile library they hope will become a new staple in the community. The bookmobile has a Wi-Fi hotspot, and people can register for a library card and check out digital devices. To find out when the bookmobile is near you or to request the bookmobile to come to your area, you can visit the Aurora Library website. All right, 6:43 right now. We want to get a check on our dog walk forecast, and this is somebody a little familiar, right?
Yeah, it's my last day, so I asked Ashton if I could do my dog for the dog walk, and he said okay. So
I did think about it for a day or two.
There's a long list.
I said sure.
Okay, so this is Vale. We're like my wife and I are like the most cliche Coloradans. We've got a golden doodle. She's got a Subaru Outback. I've got a Jeep, and we named our dog after a Colorado city. So This is Vale, though. She likes roughhousing with her dad and cuddling with her mom. So.
I like the bow tie.
And we named her Vale because we got married in Vale. So
well,
that's
there
why.
you go.
Yeah.
That's special.
So,
yeah, it looks like a pretty bougie dog.
Yeah, and this is actually a picture from Vale when we went up there a few months ago.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I put Littleton down there because I'm not sure where she's living right now. She's still here or she's already
Yeah, we're in no man's land right now. Yeah.
All right, we're going to start with the yellow paw for your dog walk. We'll go green paw later today. It's going to turn out to be a real nice day for your dog walk. CBSColorado.com/dogwalk, the place to go to share your own pups with us. Or you can just email me directly like what Dom did here at Vale.
Exactly. Okay, hold on. Dom makes fun of Instagram photos where people are looking off in the distance like they're in deep thought.
I mean, look at this.
Vale's kind of looking like this
Pretty
right
staged photo, doesn't it look
right.
that way, Michelle?
I just want to apologize to Mandy Garrett because I kind of bumped her for my dog. So you'll get on, don't worry.
Yeah, Boomer and Sooner. Boomer and Sooner will now be on Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
Way to go, Dom.
Monday. But Vale is a cutie. All right, guys. Thanks. It is 6:45 right now. A story of survival as more people are still being found alive after devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. How you can honor the victims here at home.
Knowing what to wear means knowing what's going on outside. First Alert Weather gives you the information you need. I'll get you ready every day. That's why we First Alert.
Have an update now, and 2 more people were rescued from that rubble in Turkey on Thursday, 10 days after 2 massive earthquakes hit that region. Rescuers say 1 woman was buried for 258 hours before being freed. Quake has killed more than 36,000 people in southern Turkey and 5,800 more in neighboring Syria.
This evening, the Turkish American Cultural Society of Colorado is hosting a candlelight vigil for the earthquake victims. It starts at 6 tonight in Wash Park, and we have a list of ways you can help at CBSColorado.com. All right, meteorologist Ashton Alteri is on the First Alert weather deck this morning. Feeling better out there today, right?
Yeah, I suppose it does feel better than it did yesterday and the morning before. Absolutely, looking back to Wednesday, but it's still pretty chilly out here. The warming trend we've been talking about, it is on the way. You're going to feel it more this afternoon than this morning, of course. 26 degrees here where I'm standing, but we have a bit of a breeze, and that breeze makes it feel colder, but that's the same wind that's going to descend down the Front Range foothills and mountains and warm us up. The downsloping flow today means highs in the lower to middle 50s here in the metro area. If you're elsewhere in the state, it's going to be a lot colder. 30s on the eastern plains will be stuck in the 20s across much of the western slope today. We'll take one final look at your First Alert Super 7-day forecast through the weekend and into next week coming up.
I'm Jasmine Arenas, live in Aurora, and the latest on the Aurora consent decree and why the independent monitor says they're falling behind on their promises.
And when we come back, we're going to introduce you to this very furry and cute little guy for our pet of the week.
Big stories, your neighborhood, no matter where you are. We're streaming on CBS News Colorado. Get it on the CBS News app and Pluto TV.
CBS4 Closed Captioning is sponsored by Mile High Denture and Implant Centers. We change people's lives. Visit milehighdentalcenters.com today.
Now to the stories you need to know before you go. The man police say shot and killed a 12-year-old boy at the wheel of a stolen car, not going to face any charges. Police say earlier this month, the man used an app to track the vehicle to Denver's Sun Valley neighborhood, and when he found it, got into a shootout with the people inside. 12-year-old driver was killed. The other people in the car ran off. The district attorney said prosecutors felt they could not prove to a jury the man had done anything illegal. Happening today, man accused of killing a 13-year-old boy during a road rage shooting going to appear in court for a status hearing ahead of a second trial. Police say in 2018, Jeremy Webster shot 3 members of the Bigelow family outside Westminster dentist's office after a traffic incident. Von Bigelow died. His mom and younger brother were also hurt. A mistrial, though, was declared in 2021. And police now calling several anti-Semitic incidents at the University of Denver campus hate crimes. One of the incidents involved pork, which is against Jewish kosher dietary laws, being left at a student's door in one residence hall.
I'm Jasmine Arenas in Aurora with an update on Aurora's progress in implementing reforms in its police and fire departments. The consent decree was approved in November of 2021 as an agreement between the city and state to improve practices following the death of Elijah McClain. The Independent Monitor's progress report shared concerns about missed deadlines in the Aurora Police Department's review of force used by its officers. Chief Acevedo mentioned a new body-worn camera policy that has been approved, and it will require officers to activate their cameras while responding to a call instead of doing it while on scene. He believes this will give the community an insight into what the officer's process is when responding to a call. Michelle?
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Taking a look out at the roads right now. We do have an incident, a crash on I-25 in the southbound direction near Bellevue that's causing some delays in that area. Otherwise, this Friday morning commute not looking too bad. If you're coming in from the north to the metro area, you see speeds dipping down on 25 southbound, 51 miles per hour. Doesn't sound too bad. 11-minute drive, 120th to I-70. 270 is seeing some slowing. Average speed right now, 36 miles per hour. I-25 to I-70, a 10-minute drive, Ashton.
Not too bad, Michelle. And overall, pretty nice day on the way. It is chilly right now. The wind that we have this morning making it feel awfully cool outside. But later today, going to warm up quite a bit. Highs will reach into the lower and middle 50s, similar to the weather that we had way back on Monday, if you can remember that, before the snowstorm we had in the middle of the week. Tonight, temperatures drop into the 20s. We will see high cloudiness move in tonight, and those high clouds will be with us tomorrow, meaning the sky is going to look more white instead of blue. But still a pretty nice day for Saturday, 52. A little cooler on Sunday, 49. We'll get snow back in the mountains starting Sunday. Any snow in Denver will wait until late Tuesday into Wednesday. And it gets a lot colder again the middle of next week. Michelle?
But coming up on CBS Colorado Mornings at 9, we take you inside a special exhibit at the Denver Art Museum, how it's spotlighting the emotions felt by our indigenous communities.
All right, let's get to our pet of the week. This is Sleepy, a 3-month-old female, fully vaccinated, spayed, lab mixed with something, not quite sure, but they call her Sleepy because the mom is Snow White.
Right.
She's part of the 7 dwarfs.
Aw, isn't that cute? I know. She's a total sweetheart, puppy energy and lots of puppy kisses, and she's ready for her forever home. So call Max Fund if you're interested, 303-595-491.
And the rest of the dwarves are available for adoption
available too.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and fully vaccinated. All right. Even though we knew it was coming, doesn't make it easy for us. This is kind of a hard day for us to say goodbye to Dom. It's his last day, and as his family starts a new adventure in California, which is going to be great for you guys. He did not want us to do this. He's totally against it. So, of course, I had to put something together to show how much you've meant to
That was like just a quick goodbye. Just a quick goodbye.
Yeah, he didn't want any of this, but we're like, no, we're going to put something together because you have to know the impact you have on our community and our station. So here you go.
It is cold enough where I might rush through this.
What can we say about Dom?
Dom who?
Dominic Garcia?
Oh, Dominic. Yeah, no, Dominic is great. It's been wonderful working with Tom.
He started at CBS Colorado in 2006 as an intern, young and fresh-faced and already making an impact.
Dom was an intern?
So you don't remember him?
Was he in sports? Now, I do remember he was here during an election year that I actually was young enough to stay up late because we went for drinks after the election, and he joined us for that.
And that's all you remember at that time from him?
Pretty much.
Well, drinks must have worked. Dom was hired as a reporter here in 2010 and has covered everything from weather to tragedy to one of his favorite stories, the newly commissioned USS Colorado in Connecticut. And when he's not busy telling stories, you can often find him getting coffee or just hanging out in the hallway. But what's he really like?
He wants to make you think he's an altar boy, but he's not. That guy has a wicked sense of humor.
Dom likes to share random facts about himself or ask random questions from people in breaks. And I've learned a lot about Dom and learned how much he likes peanut M&Ms and how no one really cares, but Dom really does.
Between you and I, does it bother you that he talks nonstop during commercial breaks?
No, it's entertaining.
So one thing viewers don't get to see is all of the joking around that goes on behind the scenes. And one thing Dom likes to do, whenever I leave the desk and I leave my phone on the desk, I come back to this. I probably have 100 selfies of Dom on my phone, and I find them much later on.
He does this thing where every time his co-anchor reads
a set of phone numbers. He pretends to write it down, and it's very dramatic. I mean, it makes me laugh, but I'm not the one that's on TV. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching him trying to break his co-anchor on TV.
And sometimes it backfires.
Denver Zoo also closed again today. Sorry.
But everyone seems to like Dom, even if they hide their faces admitting it.
He's been a pleasure to work with. He makes the mornings fun.
So bottom line, despite all the antics, your temper tantrums, your demands, Dom, we're going to miss you.
And there you go.
That was really nice. Thank you, guys.
Was it?
Yeah,
There's a lot of honesty in there. I like that.
I've seen a lot of people, like, when they prepare speeches. I didn't prepare a speech or anything, but I did want to show one thing. So this is a picture of me on my very first day at CBS4. This would have been back in like 2006. This is when I was an intern.
Right.
And so if you would have told this punk kid that one day he'd be anchoring a show in Denver, you know, at this station he just idolized, I would have, you know, said no way. So to everyone here who just, you know, helped make this punk kid's dream come true, it has been so much fun. I tell everyone I've never enjoyed, you know, coming to work more than I have on this morning show. So thank you to you guys and everyone behind the scenes, because there's a lot more talented people than me that make, you know, this go on every day. So it has been a heck of a ride, and thank you guys so much.
It's been so much fun with you, Dom. I mean, we clicked instantly, became good friends. I'm going to miss you.
It's literally not going to be the same without you.
It's been great just being a mentor to you and watching you really spread your wings. And
thank you
just to
for
watch
all
you
of
grow.
Yes.
So, but we'll be back plenty. But, you know, thanks to everyone out there.
Come back and visit us.
It's been a heck of a ride, so thank you.
All right, we love you. We'll see you. Have a good
great
one.
Weekend.
You're back at 9.
We'll be back at 9.
Yeah.
Noon today.
Oh, we got to do this again?